Hello everyone, thanks so much for tuning into Sin's Workshop. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, today we are going to be reviewing the Reappearance of Rachel Price. Now, this is my introduction into Holly Jackson. Never read anything by Holly Jackson before, and I should. I own A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I bought the very limited editions thinking, yeah, I'll totally love this. And considering after I read this one, I officially have absolutely no regrets. I'm definitely going to love it. I think Jackson's really good at misdirection. I think Jackson is good at building a mystery. So you have Belle, and their family kind of needs money. So her grandfather's medical bills are just kind of getting a little too out of hand because he's old, he has dementia. So what they have decided to do is people, documentaries have been hounding them for ages. Because 16 years ago, when Belle was 2, she was found in her car, in the back seat, and she has absolutely no idea where her mother is. So the whole missing mother thing has been kind of wild. She has very few memories of her mother. So no one really knows, especially since the events leading up to the disappearance of Rachel Price are quite mysterious. And so she invites documentaries into her home, filmmakers into her home to film a documentary on the disappearance of Rachel Price. And guess who comes knocking on the door? None other than Belle's mother, Rachel Price. So now the whole thing has kind of taken a turn. Everything has taken a turn. And Belle, she's kind of suspicious. She sees her mother in this kind of decrepit state with her clothes worn off, and they're the same clothes that she disappeared in. And it's really, really interesting. I'm trying to think of a way to do this review without doing any spoilers because I don't want to spoil the book. It's so expertly written. It kept me at the edge of my seat. It kept me on my toes when I was reading this because Belle, she does not trust her mother at all. This woman who claims to be her mother. It's always been her and her dad and her cousin and, her aunt and uncle. They've been a strong family unit. But now the return of her mother has kind of shifted things, and things have changed. The dynamic has changed, and there's a lot of tension in the air, and you're wondering why. So Belle begins to start her own investigation, right? She needs to figure out where her mother has been because she doesn't think her mother is telling the complete truth, and she's not. And as the story continues and as the plot thickens and old secrets come to play, every single plot twist was a jaw dropper. I mean, that rising tension, those plot twists were kind of just thrown in there, and they worked with the building tension, with that mystery, that misdirection that Jackson is weaving into the story. And I'm excited to read this book. There was a time I was reading, I'm like, I did not want to put it down. It was so well done. Everything about it. I mean, I really have no complaints about it. Even the love interest scenario going on, that little romance subplot that is in there, it just adds to Belle's characterization. And I will say that there are times when Belle is a little unlikable, but it's still realistic. It still fits within the scope of the novel. She was found abandoned in a car. She was found in the car. Dora's missing. Her mom's missing at 2. And now her mom's alive. And she's just like, well, where have you been this whole time? Because she doesn't really believe her. There are pieces of her story that aren't matching up. But Belle is right. By the end of the novel, you realize, wow, Belle was right. Her mother wasn't telling the truth, but not for the reasons she thinks. The danger is closer to home for her. So all the misdirection, the plot tension, that characterization, I think it was all really well done, and it really made for an unputdownable book. I mean, a part of me wants to just go ahead and give it those 5 stars, but I'm just like, well, maybe just a 4.5, because I didn't like Belle sometimes. But by the end of it, it was just so well done. I can't stress that enough. Not much of a review. I'm trying to do this review because without revealing spoilers, because if I spoil it, I mean, I'm going to take away some of the best aspects of this book, and I don't want to do this. I do not want to do that. But I really do think the novel is benefited from that characterization, you know, from building that momentum and that rising tension and really inching that plot and thickening the plot further and further and further till you get to that climactic moment where everything is revealed and you're just like, damn, that was good. Like, I should have seen that coming, but I didn't see it coming, and I'm just like mad at myself because Declan's misdirection is very well done. Let me just say that. Her misdirection is very well done. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and give it 5 stars. It was a great book. Highly recommended. Now I am even more excited to read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder Trilogy and her newest book that's coming out soon. What is it? Not Dead Yet? Something like that. I have the ARC. Thank you so much, publisher, for sending me that ARC. So, I'm excited to read it. You know, I'm excited to read more Polly Jackson because this book had me so hooked from beginning to end. So on that note, thank you all for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with our book-reading friends. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.